A Ton of Green, Part 1. Seated at her table reading her favorite book, Too Many Mouths, Del Meso got distracted by a bird that was trilling on a tree just outside her window. The lilac-breasted roller, Kenya's national bird, seems to have found joy in perching next to Del's office, especially in the evenings. Del Meso, an ardent teacher of English and literature, stood up and looked intensely at the window, noticed that a few leaves had changed from the shiny green fleshy ones to yellow ones. Her office sill had a speck of dust. Adjusting her spectacles, she stood up to have a better view of the flower bed adjacent to her office. She almost stepped on the pile of exercise books that were lying on the floor. That week, she had been too busy to allow the janitor who cleaned the offices to give her office the usual touch of freshness. "Where has time flown to?" she whispered, stretching her tired body. Del's, a slender woman of medium height, chocolate complexion with brown eyes that seemed to look into the future, was always thinking of ways to better her classroom experience for her students. Always adorned in high-heeled shoes that matched her executive-looking English suits, and modern African fabric wear gave her an official look. This particular day, the weather had been so warm, she had left her coat in the wardrobe behind the door. A teacher of English at the prestigious Trunktop High School had developed the habit of burying herself into marking her students' assignments in notebooks. Although she had taken time to study the different learning styles of her students, she knew that that knowledge alone would not make a difference unless she filled a variety of teaching methods and aids in her classes. Therefore, she employed a lot of time in creating interesting lesson plans. Her students looked forward to having her in her class. One time, she missed her classes on a Monday. At 4 in the afternoon, the students sent a delegation to the school principal to find out what could have happened. "Yes, Angelique, how may I help you? I see you have an entire entourage behind you, and all of you look so worried," the principal inquired, welcoming the students into her office. "Madam, we have not seen Madame Dels today. Is she fine?" the class secretary inquired worriedly. "Yes, dear students, Madame Dels is fine. She had traveled home for the weekend for a family function. Unfortunately, the rains destroyed the road network, blocking her way back. However, she has just called to say that she's on her way back." "Thank you, madam," the students screamed as they bolted out of the principal's office to go and share the good news with the rest of the class. This year, Dels was determined that the elusive grade A was not going to escape her class. Although she had 50 students in her grade 12 class, she had put in place strategies to beat the odds of any of her students scoring below a C-. "I must change Marylin's sitting position. Since midterm, that girl always looks absent-minded. I wonder what the problem could be. Additionally, I must check if the random assessment tests I have given Musila to photocopy are ready," she thought aloud. "Hello, Dels. It's approaching 5:30. It will soon get dark. Besides, it looks like it might rain like yesterday, and you don't seem to have any plans to leave this place," quipped Robert, her tall, elegant colleague, in a deep baritone. Robert Terrifier had just been posted to the English department and had been assigned a seat in the general staff room. That evening, he had decided to check on the students who were yelling at the gazebo to the far right of the staff room. But on finding Del's door slightly open, he had stood for about 3 minutes, observing her through that opening. Startled out of her thoughts, Del exclaimed, "Oh, I didn't notice you were there. Come in and have a seat." She responded formally, trying to calm herself down. Robert walked in majestically and sat on the visitor's seat that had been turned towards the window. He seemed to be avoiding eye contact, or so she thought. He was preoccupied with a certain book he was holding in his hands as he walked into the room. She offered him a cup of tea, hot Kenyan tea, as she arranged the books on her table into 2 neat piles, returned all the pens and white markers into the tray. Then she packed a few exercise books into her bag without forgetting her yellow tinted glass water bottle, which was on the windowsill. "You must love this water bottle," Robert observed. "Yes, actually, I adore it. I was gifted by..." For more, join me for the next session.